So let's talk about the food at Coachella this year, because this year food prices are next level. Like $17 for a lemonade, kind of next level. And no, it wasn't fresh pressed, infused, or anything remotely fancy, just lemonade, mostly ice. There were tons of people on TikTok showing their food hauls, and the math was not mathing. One girl paid over $100 for 2 tacos and a drink. The drink? Mostly ice with a splash of lemon-flavored disappointment. And that wasn't even dinner. That was just one night. And it's not just the cost, it's the quality. So many people were complaining about how mid or straight up gross the food was. Like $25 for a salad that looked like it came from a high school cafeteria? Some were even going so far as to bring their own cooking gear. Literally. People were making eggs outside on the pavement, using the desert heat as a stove. Others were surviving off protein bars and whatever they could sneak past security because the prices inside were just crazy. And it's kind of wild because meanwhile, the influencers in VIP were showing off their sushi platters, gourmet sliders, truffle fries, all that. But regular GA attendees were spending $30 for a slice of pizza and a bottle of water. Like, at that point, you're not just paying for food, you're paying for the privilege of staying conscious in the sun. And considering the hours-long wait times in some food lines, you're losing actual parts of your festival experience just trying to grab a snack. There was even a thread going around where someone said they paid $64 for lunch and still walked away hungry. It also just feels kind of predatory when you think about it. Coachella already knows you have to eat something during those long, hot days, and they're charging like they're the only game in town, which they are. And while the festival does bring in some big-name restaurants and chefs, the price hike is clearly about more than just food quality. It's about creating a kind of exclusivity, even around the basics. Like, imagine being priced out of a sandwich at a place where you already spent hundreds just to be there. People are paying hundreds, even thousands of dollars just to sleep next to a stranger's sweaty duffel bag in the middle of a dust storm, all while influencers 5 feet away are lounging in private pools with AC and catered breakfasts. Because here's the truth no one wants to admit. Coachella isn't one festival, it's 2, and they look nothing alike. On one side, you've got the ultra-curated, champagne-pouring, air-conditioned fantasy land of VIPs, celebs, and rich influencers. They're flying in on private jets, getting dropped off at the gates in black Escalades, and heading straight to luxury yurts that cost more than most people's rent for a year. And on the other side, it's just survival mode. Let's start with the GA crowd. A standard car camping pass in 2025 costs around $179 to $250, on top of your $649 ticket. What does that get you? A literal plot of dirt with no shade, minimal space, and maybe a working bathroom nearby. If you're lucky, you brought a pop-up tent that doesn't collapse in the wind. If you're really lucky, you remembered to bring water, because hydration stations are a desert-wide scavenger hunt. Meanwhile, over in safari camping, guests are chilling in preset glamping tents with real beds, climate control, private showers, golf cart chauffeurs, and dedicated concierge service. These packages run from $9,000 to $33,000 plus for the weekend. One listing even includes a private chef and daily maid service. No joke. Oh, and let's talk sleep. GA campers are passed out in back seats, deflating air mattresses, or just collapsing on the grass under the stars, assuming they're not worried about bugs, dehydration, or having their stuff stolen. Reddit was filled with posts from people saying they got maybe 3 hours of sleep the entire weekend. Some even slept upright in their cars because it was the only spot with a working fan. Meanwhile, VIP estates, yes, actual houses, were available through Coachella's Platinum Estates program. These are 100,000 plus offsite mansions complete with Wi-Fi, a pool, luxury transportation to and from the grounds, and full access to VIP lounges. And this isn't even new. Social media has been calling it out for years. The rich Coachella versus poor Coachella meme has become an actual genre. People literally document their suffering in GA while others film TikToks in jacuzzis next to headliners. But this year, the weather was brutal, the traffic was worse, and the logistics were chaotic, meaning the divide wasn't just about comfort, it was about safety, about health. And if that's not the most painfully accurate metaphor for where society is right now, I don't know what is. Tana Mongo said her minimum Coachella spend? $17,000. Security, luxury lodging, drivers, glam team, and that doesn't even include the extras. Like, what even are the extras at that point? Gold-plated hummus?
Realized I totaled up what my absolute minimum Coachella spend this year would be, and it's like $17,000.
That's
It's like,
you could definitely do it cheaper than $17,000.
I could have paid off all my debt from someone who chose flashy Ferris wheels over financial freedom. We are not the same, and you need some therapy. That's the cultural shift right there. People aren't jealous anymore. They're just exhausted. Because watching rich influencers party in designer boots while you're figuring out how to split rent 5 ways, it hits different now. And maybe the most relatable one yet. It's not even fun to watch people be rich anymore. We're over it. Klarna, Afterpay, Zip. These aren't festival sponsors. They're lifelines for broke festival goers. And Billboard says over 60% of attendees now rely on payment plans just to afford the wristband. That $599 Georgia ticket, add housing, food, Ubers, outfits, parking. Boom, you're over $1,500 in the hole for a weekend of dust and overpriced lemonade. But hey, you get a fire pick for Instagram, right? Affordable payments make it feel light until the interest hits. Until that Klarna bill stacks up with your rent, credit card, and car note. What was once a musical escape has turned into a credit trap. It's not about art or community anymore. It's about who can fake luxury the hardest. A festival marketed like a buy now pay later designer bag. Let me know in the comments. Would you go into debt for a weekend at Coachella? Or has the dream turned into a financial nightmare? Like, comment, and subscribe for more unfiltered takes on pop culture, money, and the real cost of the cloud economy. See you in the next one.